There's a town deep in the Appalachian Mountains. A place so hidden, it doesn't show up on Google Maps. No signs. No paved roads. Just trees thick like walls and silence that presses on your chest. Locals call it Valley of Echoes. But for black folks who've heard the stories, they call it something else. The place where we disappear. It all started in 1947. A young black war veteran named Elijah Brooks was traveling from Georgia to Ohio when his car broke down near the Kentucky-Tennessee border. He walked through the woods, searching for help. He never made it out. A week later, his family came looking, but the sheriff said there was no sign of him. Told them he probably ran off. Case closed. But they never believed it. And then, over the decades, more stories. A college student traveling for a civil rights event. A musician driving south for a show. A family visiting relatives. All of them, last seen somewhere near that same stretch of woods. Gone. Locals whisper about a town hidden deep within those hills. White only. Not officially, not legally. But in practice. Absolutely. Some say the town is stuck in time. The people don't use cell phones. They don't like outsiders. Especially not black ones. And then there's the rule. If a black person enters, they don't leave. Fast forward to today. Enter Darius Mitchell, a young black filmmaker from Chicago. He makes documentaries about places with strange racial histories. He'd heard about the Valley of Echoes in an old Reddit thread. No real info, just hearsay and rumor. But that's what drew him in. He packed a camera, drone gear, a GoPro strapped to his chest, and a mic on his collar. He left a note with his producer. If I don't check in by Sunday, call the state police. He drove south, past Nashville, into the hills, and then he found it. A dirt road not marked on GPS. Just like the story said. He followed it for miles. Trees closed in around him. His phone lost signal. And then he saw it. A wooden arch weathered. Faded white paint that once read, "Welcome to Echo Valley." But when he stopped the car, his camera picked up something strange. A shadow at the tree line. Watching, he walked slowly into the town. And what he saw wasn't just eerie. It was impossible. Homes looked like they were from the 1930s. No power lines. No satellite dishes. And the people, they all turned to look at him at once. White faces. Silent. Stone still. And then, a sound from a radio. A voice crackling through static. He's here. Just like the others. Darius froze. He turned to run, but someone was standing behind him. A man. Pale, tall, old-fashioned suit. "Where you going, boy?" The camera fell, but the footage kept rolling. It captured Darius's scream. And then nothing. Until 2 weeks later. Someone found the footage anonymously uploaded to a private forum for missing black travelers. The last frame. A shot of a journal. A page that read, "Elijah Brooks is alive. And I found him. But they won't let either of us leave." The footage was real. Darius's voice. His scream. That old radio voice. And that final journal page? It shook the online world. Elijah Brooks is alive. And I found him. But they won't let either of us leave. His producer, Mia Jordan, didn't wait. She flew to Tennessee the next day, armed with the GPS logs from Darius's car, a map marked with local disappearances, and 2 GoPros of her own. Mia wasn't just a producer. She was a former investigative journalist. And she had one rule: always finish what you start. She drove through the same winding Appalachian roads, watching the tree line like it might blink. At one point, her phone buzzed with a static call from an unknown number. She picked it up. Nothing. Just breathing. The closer she got to the alleged town, the weirder things got. Her car's dashboard flickered. Radio turned itself on, playing Billie Holiday's Strange Fruit on repeat. And then, her headlights caught something in the trees. Dozens of porcelain dolls, hanging by strings, all painted black. She reached the same wooden arch Darius had filmed. This time, the words were gone, scratched out violently, wood splintered. But she walked forward. Inside the town, time felt warped. No cell signal. No birds. No wind. Just silence, and a smell like rotting wood and forgotten memories. And then she saw him. Darius. sitting on a bench outside what looked like an abandoned church. But something was off. His eyes were open, but they weren't seeing. His face was still. Too still. She whispered, "Darius?" Nothing. Then a creak behind her. She turned. A man in a Confederate soldier's uniform stood in the church doorway. "You're not welcome here," he said. Mia stepped back, but Darius suddenly moved. He looked up, blinked, and muttered, "Don't let them look into your eyes." Too late. Mia turned and locked eyes with the man. And then, black. When she came to, she was lying on the church floor. The pews were full now, but not with the living. All the seats were filled with black people. Still, unmoving, their eyes open, faces frozen in mid-expression. A whole town's worth of the missing. All accounted for. All there, but not alive. Not dead either. A radio sat on the pulpit, crackling. A voice whispered, "They don't leave. But you still have a choice." Suddenly, the back doors of the church burst open. A boy ran in, holding something. A journal. It was Elijah Brooks's. And what he screamed next, "You have to burn the town. It's the only way." Mia stood frozen in the old church, heart thundering. The pews still filled with the silent, not dead, not living, faces of the missing. And in the doorway, the boy holding Elijah Brooks' journal. "You have to burn the town. It's the only way." Mia ran toward him, grabbing the journal as the ground began to tremble. The voice on the radio grew louder. "Don't listen to him. You can stay. You can be safe here." Safe? Mia glanced at the congregation of the frozen. They weren't safe. They were trapped. Elijah's journal was worn and cracked, but the final pages were fresh. The town exists in a pocket, out of time. We are kept by memory, not by chains. Every black soul who crosses in feeds it, and it can't let us go unless someone breaks the memory. Mia scanned the church, old hymnals, splintered beams, and under the pulpit a stash of rusted lanterns. She lit one, and poured oil across the aisle. The pews, the altar, the radio. Darius stood beside her now, no longer dazed, no longer silent. "I remember now," he whispered. "They took my voice." The boy nodded. "That's how they keep you. They steal your memory, piece by piece." The flames rose. One by one, the frozen figures blinked, coughed, gasped like they were coming up from underwater. The spell was breaking. Outside, the sky turned red. The fake houses faded like mist. The Confederate man reappeared, walking into the flames without flinching. "You think fire can erase this place?" he growled. Mia stepped forward, journal in hand. "I don't need to erase it." She struck a match. "I just need the world to finally believe it." She tossed the journal into the fire. And then, everything exploded into white. When Mia woke up, she was in a hospital bed. Darius in the next room. The boy. Gone. But the camera footage? Still there. And the journal pages? Somehow still intact. Now in the hands of federal agents. News broke within days. Secret Appalachian town discovered. Dozens found alive after decades missing. The nation was stunned. Some refused to believe it. Others, especially black families, began checking the names. Finding closure. Finding justice. Darius published his documentary. Mia wrote a best-selling book. The government tried to contain the narrative, but it was too late. The world knew now. The Valley of Echoes was real. And though the town had burned, the land still existed. Still twisted. Still watching. But here's the part no one talks about. 6 months later, Mia received a package. No return address. Inside, a single Polaroid. A photo of the church. Standing again. With a new sign above it. Welcome home. Some stories don't end. They echo. In a nation built on forgotten names and vanished legacies, the Valley of Echoes wasn't just a place. It was a mirror. A warning. And for every Darius, every Mia, every soul pulled back from silence, there are still those we never find. Still places left off maps. Still voices erased before they can speak. But now the world knows. And knowing is the first step to justice. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and stay tuned for more interesting videos.